No, I didn't just talk to you. No, I do not work here. Edited because I got a message about my atrocious grammar. So the story goes like this. I'm asked to go get some groceries. I tend to shop at Wood Guys. It's a nice big store, great service, great variety. I take my cousin Paris with me because she needs a few things. Now, an important thing to note is that I am 6'3" and black. My cousin Paris is not. She is as white as the snow-capped peaks of the mountains of Caucasus. Paris is not her real name, but she is named after a place like that, and so is her sister. Paris has baby blue eyes, platinum blonde hair, dimples, and looks like someone fused Billie Eilish and Phoebe Cates together and made them Snow White. I'll admit that she's really pretty, which is actually relevant to the story. She is my uncle's stepdaughter and has been hanging around me a lot since I got back in town. Now everything's going well. I grab me some usingers, spend some time staring forlornly in the ramen aisle, go check and get some meats, both real and fake, and just generally minding my own business. Paris and I split up because she was asking me some uncomfortable questions about feminine products. And as mature as I believe I am, that's no man's land, and only my wife is gonna get me to listen to you talk about that stuff. So I head off to make some life and health decisions about some chips. I want to get Flamin' Hot Doritos, maybe get some Rico's nacho cheese. That you some chorizo, some chunky salsa, and some ground beef, and you've got something. But that's a very serious bathroom visit later in the day, especially for me. Do you wanna risk the holy hell I'm gonna feel if I go that route? I'm very seriously in consideration. This is why I probably didn't hear this lady when she called me the first couple of times. I only notice her when she walks up. He was white, middle-aged, and dressed like she was 20, not a good look. I remember scoffing at her brand new Buccaneers jersey, but she had on a Patriots coat and booty shorts. The jersey was one of those ones that show midriff, and I have to admit she didn't really look like she took care of her skin. I also have a problem with people who dress cute when it's cold. I'm thinking all kinds of negative stuff from the start. He couldn't be more offensive unless he was rocking a Kevin King jersey. He starts up with the "Are you gonna help me or not?" Very rude tone, hands on the hips, animated, that whole neck shaking thing. I'm like, odd. So she starts listing things, saying she asked for this and that, and for me to go see where the butcher was. He apparently wasn't at his post. I was confused and asked her what she was on about, and she gets mad, telling me that she already asked all this and wouldn't have to repeat herself if I had listened. She didn't say it like that, she insulted me, but I don't for the life of me remember what she said. I was too busy trying to figure out why she was talking to me. Takes me a moment to realize she thinks I work there. I politely tell her she is mistaken, we've never spoken, and I do not work here. She tells me she sees me there all the time, and she just spoke to me, that she isn't stupid. I told her I didn't think she was, just that she was mistaken. I went to tell her that I'm not even dressed like I work there. But my jacket was in the cart. It's a bomber jacket that gets stupid hot indoors. So you can see my outfit, and I am wearing a sweater vest from my college, a polo, khakis and Timberlands. I kind of do look like I work there. The sweater vest is indeed blue, though not the same blue as the aprons you see around. I point to the team logo on my vest and reiterate that I don't work there, and she is mistaken. That's when things go from weird to this woman is insane. Lettuce pokes her head out of the aisle behind me and asks if I can grab one of the boxes of noodles at the top. The full box is in plastic. The flavor she likes doesn't have enough individual ones for her liking. She's a fan of duck flavor. I apologize and dismiss myself from the lady's presence and go to help Paris. This was apparently a bad move, because watching me help Paris get her ramen, and then grabbing several other things from high shelves, pissed the lady off. Keep in mind Paris is like 5'2" in wedge shoes. She's like a slightly tall child, to be honest. She starts in at me loud as a banshee, giving me the "I knew you worked here." She starts yelling. Her language is colorful, and she seems to have a particular stick up her rear. Because she thinks I am helping Paris because she is younger and pretty, instead of helping a real woman like her. I must have had a look on my face, because she gives me "I'll have you know plenty of men find me attractive." and said some pretty disparaging things at Paris' expense. My cousin and I aren't all that close. In fact, she's a bit of a spoiled brat, and our relationship is contentious at best. She and her sister are usually selfish, big-headed and disrespectful. I'm not often very fond of her. However, she is my cousin, and you best believe you ain't gonna disrespect her in my presence. If I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't let you disrespect her sister London either, and I can't stand her butt. I say, look here, lady, I understand you're having some kind of identity crisis, gesturing at her outfit, but I can assure you that I do not work here. My cousin is not some hot girl I'm helping instead of you. We've never spoken before, and despite what the police would have you believe, we do not all look alike. He then accuses me of calling her racist, which I laugh at as she tells me, I'll have you know that I've dated black guys. Which Paris chimes in, letting her know that she can choke down as many black dicks as she wants, and that don't make her not racist. Woman said she doesn't hate black people, and we're racist for assuming she does. This pisses off Paris, who tells her she ain't got to hate black people to be racist. Just think that being white makes her better or them worse. You ain't gotta hit nobody to treat them different cause you all up in your own ass. Which gonna have to give her a gold star for, I'll be real. Never expected to hear something like that from her. It took a bit, but the commotion finally got the attention of a worker who comes over. He is a black guy as tall as me, carrying several items in his hands. I cannot express enough how much he looks nothing like me. I turn to midlife crisis, and I can see the recognition on her face when she looks at him. He is skinny as sin. I used to be a defensive lineman. I've never been skinny. He immediately asks if there's a problem and starts handing her things, apologizing cause the item she was looking for had been in the area it was supposed to be. I've moved from where she remembered it being, which is code for you should have took 5 seconds to look around. She is stunned silent for like 2 whole minutes, like you can see the clockwork going on in her head. She wants to say something, but she keeps looking up trying to figure out how she mistook me for this guy. She shoots Paris a dirty look cause she's giggling like an idiot. Lady wants to say something so bad, but she holds back. To her credit, her skin reddens like a tomato and her face is like going through emotions. It's like if she was an actress that was told to emote just with her face. Acting coach would have applauded her cause she was running the gambit. Lots of head nods and everything, like she having a heated conversation in her head. She then starts stammering. I know she wants to continue this argument, but she's lost all footing cause I step over next to the guy to illustrate how little we resemble each other. Paris is laughing her ass off by now. I look at the guy and say, she just confused me for you. I mean, can you blame her? We could be twins. He looked at me funny for a moment and then realized what happened and gave the look that all black people give each other in these situations. Buttons. Which is basically us thinking, the caucasity. I very politely, but very condescending tell the lady, I'm happy you found your man, and I hope the rest of your day exceptional. If I'm being polite is a better FU than saying FU. Paris hit her with a have a nice day, Karen, with no emphasis on the Karen, and we just walked away. I have to admit, despite our differences, I was very proud of my cousin for that. She's not known for sticking up for anyone. She's kind of spoiled. But I was happy she stood up for me, because I might have said some things most foul if she hadn't. After we left, I took her to get ice cream. She's in her early 20s, but really, really likes ice cream.
The entitled mom that I broke with a song and dance. TLDR at the bottom. It has been a while since I've been mistaken for working at another market. For a while, it seemed every other month I'd be in a store shopping comfortably, and someone would come out of the woodwork and demand help, recognizing me from FailMart. But with the COVID-19 crisis and the institution of masks, I've been happily incognito whenever I've gone in search of better prices and selection from the cult of Sam. At FailMart, I moved to another position from the pharmacy and now work the door, handing out masks and wiping down carts. It's a terrible job, but I'm making more money doing this than any other job, so figure that one out. I've also changed my look. I'm no longer a rock and roll yeti, with long hair and band t-shirts, but dress more like a respectable member of society. I have discovered I'm quite the clothes horse. A fancy wool overcoat, a green vintage army jacket, a leather biker jacket, whatever I feel like tossing on that day. Hats, different shoes, various different pants. The point I'm making is I do not look like my Failmart alter ego when I'm out and about. I wear a black ball cap, a black Fox military coat, and a name tag. I wear this day in and day out, but never in my civilian life. With the addition of the mask, it's difficult for the customers to recognize me, however. Big snowstorm heading into my area, forecasting a foot of snow and sub-zero temperatures. I decide to forego shopping at my home store and head off to another superstore in the area in search of propane ice melt batteries, the usual prepper stuff I try to lay in when it's possible I'm going to be snowed in for a few days. Bought my cart, listening to the in-store music playing the same tired 70s and 80s inoffensive fluff they always do, and it happens. I pause to grab a bottle of hot sauce and the much-feared call of the entitled customer. Hey, you. Well, not me. Can't be calling for me. I'm in a wool coat and a stylish Stetson. I'm not working. Whistle. Oh, crap. She actually whistled at me. I turn with dread and yep, there she is. One of my Failmart customers, and one of the more infamous ones to boot. Let me describe this woman. She's basically spherical. A screwed up, angry face, beady eyes, and has a habit of wearing stained sweats no matter what the weather. She comes into Failmart and demands an electric cart and will get extremely huffy if none are available. I have run my ass rag trying to meet her demands and never get a thank you. Her daughter once stole someone's cart for her from the bathroom area, but that's a story for another thread. So she's straining the store's electric cart, leaning over the handlebars and glaring at me. For once her devil spawn are not with her. Took you damn long enough to get me a 40-pound bag of rock salt. Now I want to get home before the snow. Now, since I have a lot of time to think at Failmart, sometimes amuse myself by making up little songs. Anything to make myself giggle and keep my mind off my soul-sucking job. I glare at the woman, take a deep breath, and off to the races we go. To the tune of the Oogie Boogie song from Nightmare Before Christmas. You're joking, I can't believe my ears. You're joking, you think that I work here. Look at me, dear lady, tell me what you see. I've got no damn name tag, so please just let me be. I start doing a soft shoe dance in my boots, slowly turning about, arms akimbo, showing off my non-Failmart attire. She's now staring at me like I've suddenly grown an extra head, and it's making googly faces at her. I don't know why you're thinking that I help all that I can. But for now, between you and me, I'm not the Failmart man. I grab my cart, spin it around like it's Ginger Rogers, and skip off down the aisle singing, you're joking. I had glanced to look over my shoulder right before I took the turn, and she was still sitting there, mouth agape. I couldn't stop grinning the rest of my trip. The LDR sang a song and did a soft shoe to an entitled customer that left her stunned.
Karen demanded that I clean the toilet. I visited my mother at work today. My mom works in an office that gives out documents for truck drivers. Before the pandemic, I used to go with her often to work to help her. The work there is hard. I was usually handing over documents for the drivers, photocopying documents or other things. Like every employee, my mother has keys to the office staff toilets, where the drivers don't have them and have to use another paid toilet. In order not to lose money, my mother would give me these keys as it was today. My mother always told me that the women in her work were terribly messy. When you went to the toilet, there was water spilled over the sink, paper was all over the floor around the toilets, and sometimes the women didn't flush the water after using the toilet. There was once a situation where a woman didn't flush the water after she had pooped, but instead she stuffed the toilet with paper. When I went to the toilet, the first thing I saw were pizza boxes standing on the sink, just left by some woman. I asked myself, how can you be such a person to leave something like that? I hate mess. It's just that when I see something being messed up, I can't walk past it, and I just clean it up. So I took those pizza boxes, folded them up, and threw them in the trash. And then I saw that there was a big puddle of water on the floor. Great. I took the paper and started wiping it up. Then a woman came into the toilet. She walked past me, ignoring me. I had not even finished wiping the floor when the woman shouted, "Women, there's no paper." I knew what a problem it was when you went to the bathroom and there was no paper. Hold on. I took the roll of toilet paper and threw it into the toilet cubicle where it was and went back to mopping the floor. When the woman came out, she immediately approached me. Start doing your job seriously. Excuse me. You should make sure that there is toilet paper in every cubicle. You don't work here. You do. Otherwise, why would you be wiping the floor? Because there was a puddle of water. And why are you wiping it? Because women like you make a mess and leave it for the cleaners to clean up later. That's what cleaners like you are for. By the way, wipe around the toilet. It's dirty there. I looked at her. I was mad. I don't work here, and even if I do, it doesn't give you the right to humiliate me or anyone else. If there wasn't any cleaners, you'd be walking around with a shit-covered ass. I threw the paper in the bin and left. I felt the woman grab my jacket. I turned rapidly towards her. Don't touch me with your dirty hands. I didn't hear you flush the toilet. You are disgusting. The woman was shocked. I fixed my jacket and left the toilet. Later I told it to my mother what had happened. She was proud of me for doing that. Please respect the work of others.
Check out my other wonderful videos.